Okay, okay, I'll be there. We're gonna do the darts for the number one piece, the front. And down here, I've got the tick marks for the bottoms of the dart legs marked. So now what I need to do is find where the top of the darts is. Stick a pin in there, that's the top. I also know how to do a shaped dart without having to draw it. So I'm going to show you. We're just going to lift this up. And make sure I didn't pin them together. Okay, so now we're going to take these two dart legs, put them together, grab the top, and I'm going to keep this near so I can see where the shaping takes place on the dart. Going down here, start at the bottom, lock stitch. I'm aiming here, so I'm coming in kind of straight at first. And it kind of was curved. It wasn't so straight. Okay, so now I need to check it. I take this, I look at this and see, did I get a similar shape? It's a little abrupt right there, so the next one I'll do smoother, okay? Let me get this one. Get my two dart leg marks together. There they are. The end of the dart. And what does it say to do after I do these? Am I supposed to split this dart? Slash it?
Slash the dart within 1 inch.
Okay. There, this one's better. If I look at this one, that's the shape of the dart. Okay? So they're telling me to slash it within 1 inch of the top, correct? So that means if I've checked the darts and I'm comfortable with them, now I can cut this and I'm going to stop about 1 inch from the tip. Okay? Do it on both. And now I'm to press it open, I'm certain.
Trim the dart. Trim it 3/8.
Oh, trim it to 3/8?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not 100% comfortable with that, but I'll do what they say. There. There. Now press it?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to press it open. Now I want steam. There. That's good. Press it. Anybody got any questions so far?
That last little knob, you just press it towards
You
the
gotta
side.
press it down. I just mashed it down. But then I turned it over to see, is my line still going straight? And it is. That's what's important. That this line doesn't squiggle because of that little piece. You saw this one, I cut it a little more. I wanted it open a little closer to the tip. Okay, so what do I do now?
It says to stay stitch side front edges between the notches.
Stay stitch side front edges between the notches. Okay, so we're going to stay stitch. What does stay stitch mean? It just means a straight stitch, no lock stitching, and one of my notches is gone, so I'm just going to do the whole thing. And this is slightly within 5/8, remember? This is because we have a slight princess seam going on this piece. Oh, you know what? I see what I did. I put a tick mark because I think that's my pocket tick mark. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we stitched. You can see it on the black side easier. We just stitched. It's not 5/8 of an inch. It's slightly less. Okay.
Okay.
Can you see it? There it is. Wow, Portia, you're awesome. Thank you. Okay, good. You can keep the camera. Okay.
Fired.
A little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to do this side, so I'm gonna have to take this
You
off.
stay stitch both of them?
Yes, you
All
don't
sides
ever
together?
do anything to one side that you don't do to the other.
You did that quick?
Yeah, you have to always do both. So let's take this off, let's preserve this lining in that piece. And now, oh, I see what your question was, that I did it in that little amount of time.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
like, wait a minute.
So now I'm gonna have to adhere this. Yep, I'm missing a notch. And that was because of adjusting the pattern. Thank you.
Is this ring now?
A little bit. So what's next after this?
Let me see.
Yeah, what's next? Yep.
Pin side front to front. At sides front edge, clipping front when necessary, and stitch. Just like you're gonna put the two pieces together and then stitch.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this here first and mark this pocket. I need it marked on this side, and I'm gonna give it a good deep snip right there, okay? And I need to look and see there's nothing else that I need to mark. I've got my two notches on there, so now I'm gonna sew this, pin this back to this so I know which pattern, which lining piece this is, okay? Keep your pieces on the fabric until you're ready to use them. So that goes back in the pattern thing. Put this here. Now, I need to find my notch. I need to retrieve my notch because it makes it so that it fits properly. So I take this and I find where did I cut off a knot, and see why it happened, because when I adjusted her garment, that notch was under here. So I need to put this here.
And that's the only side that you stay stitch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm going to put a pin here for the notch. Now I can get, now I know where my notch is. So I'm going to put it on both sides. Alright, so now I need to do what?
Now you need to sew them together.
Sew them together. So why did I stay stitch? So I could clip.
Yeah. It doesn't say anything about clipping, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why we do it. Whenever
Oh
you
yes,
got,
it does. It says to.
But see, notice I'm keeping this one different because this is my mark for my pocket. So there's those. Yeah, you got to clip so that I can bend this around.
Oh, so you have to clip it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now, where's my, here it is. So now I can take this piece. Okay. And this piece, these two belong together. Okay? But when I put this here and put this on top of it, look what happens. They don't like each other. They're going opposite directions. We did this when we did princess seam. And to be honest with you, the princess seam you did in fundamentals of construction was a lot more severe. This one's a lot simpler. So the first thing I'm going to do is match notches, correct? See how there's a tab here and there's that, so I line that up for the beginning.
You don't need to graze that?
No, we don't, that's not, two things. It's not gonna be folded against itself, and we haven't even put the seam in yet. You have to always put the seam in before you can grate. Okay, so remember, this pin is a notch, so I've just lined it up to that notch. That means everything, and see how it's not princess unless all the edges line up. You can't sew it like this, okay? It's got to be, every piece has to hit the edge. Now look at how this is sticking off like that. Fabric does not like to bend until you force it. Now the next thing I need, these two pocket pieces need to be together. That's another marker I have. See, I can't let that go like that. I'm responsible for what's on the bottom as well as what's on the top. So I'm going to pull this back, line them up, and pin it. See that? Does that work? You can see the interfacing is sticking off. The interfacing doesn't count. So if I cut the interfacing off so we can see better, let's see. The excess interfacing coming off. Look at how far off this is. See? These need to be at the edge. So if I have to pin each and every little tab that I cut, so be it. I don't have to. As I sew, I can make sure I push them forward. All right, so now everything's lined up. I can sew this now, okay? I'm going to start at 5/8 now, and I am going to knot it, and I'm going to sew to the left of my stay stitching. Okay? Now, let's move that out of the way. Take all the pins out.
Which number piece is this one?
I don't know, which number piece was that,
That's
2?
number 2?
So 1 has
Wait,
been here
Lynn.
to 2. What? Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
That happens, yeah.
Scary for a
Yeah, that's
second.
okay. It's actually happened where it blacked out one time. Okay, now I'm pressing this open. Was that you, Robrice, when that happened? It worked great, because then I loaded the videos, they were there. Okay, so now you see I've pressed the princess seam. This is nowhere near as difficult as the one you've done before. So there it is.
And what number is this one?
1.
Okay.
1 and 2. Now, do you all remember me just being a bitch about what kind of fabric you did? This is why. Everything I'm doing, I've pressed it, it's laying there. It's not running away from me. It's not dancing. It's not squiggling. It's not getting flat. This is hardcore flat. So this helps you. You can't sew when you're fighting the fabric. The fabric's working with us. That's why linen is so amazing to do this jacket with. Okay, so here's our first piece. And these lines are important. Not only are they style lines, they're fitting lines too. They're causing the garment to fit, but at the same time, they have to look good. So what I do to this side needs to look the same on the other side. That's why I have to stick with seam allowance. I need this distance to be the same on both pieces. Okay? Got it? All right. You can stop. Thank you.